So let's watch.
Question. I'd like to ask Giannini how long Giannini has known Italo.
Faz quanto tempo que o senhor conhece o Ítalo?
Desde que ele chegou em Varginha.
Ainda usava fralda.
Okay. So a long time. Safe to say a long time.
48 anos.
48 years.
48 years.
Você chegou menos.
Dr. Armando, how long have you known?
35 anos.
35 years.
35 years. How long have you known Italo?
35 também.
About 35 years too.
35 years. So, doctors, when he says he saw the creature in captivity at Regional Hospital, do you guys believe him?
Então, quando o Dr. Ítalo fala que ele viu a criatura em cativeiro, né, no CTI, vocês acreditam no que ele fala?
Com certeza. Por quê? Deixa eu fazer uma pergunta. Doutor Cesário.
Tem credibilidade para isso.
Doutor Cesário, doutor Ítalo.
I want to play another clip.
And it gained altitude again, and then it lost power completely and disappeared behind the mountain.
Nesse momento eu saí em maluco.
So he went like a crazy man
Eu falei,
after
gente,
his car.
o pessoal deve estar desesperado
These
porque
people must be
você
desperate.
tem assim, combustível, fogo,
You think about fuel, you think about
pessoas
fire,
desesperadas,
desperate
precisando de
people
ajuda.
inside.
Now, you've said an American contacted you with knowledge of where the recovered beings from Varginha were taken on to the U.S. side. Without compromising your sources, what can you tell us about what they told you?
Let's put it this way. I think the evidence for Varginha is not far from Virginia.
Got it. Okay. I think you pretty much settled that.
Okay, anyway, so when that was happening, there was a woman that came up to both me and there's that guy Amar from Yes Theory. He's in the video. He was filming all behind the scenes. He's going to be releasing something, I think, in a few months. But in any case, this woman came up to me. She was shaking like this. I can't say exactly who she is yet. She will come forward. Dr. Italo's telling the truth. Amar was there. All my other people, Marco, everyone was there. She was shaking like this. Dr. Italo's telling the truth. Dr. Italo's telling the truth. I said, how do you know? She said, because I was there. And then she described exactly the scene in the regional hospital. I mean, it was just like, and there are other doctors. We were knocking on every single clinic's door just like a month and a half ago, getting other doctors to come forward and talk about who Dr. Italo is, his character, his credibility. Did they hear about it? Did they see the video? So it's an ongoing thing. And I like I said before, if this guy's lying, I don't see a motive. I just don't. He'd have to be lying to his wife and his kids and his coworkers and all of his and he's not asking for any money.
Right. Yeah, go ahead, please.
No, I just don't see a motive. I just don't.
Well, and the other thing you have to consider too, obviously a doctor's reputation is everything, especially professionally, because other doctors refer their patients to other doctors if there's something that they don't want to handle. So just from a professional lens, there is zero reason why this man would lie and potentially jeopardize his medical reputation. It doesn't add up. It clearly doesn't.
Yeah, I'm, if I had to put my life, obviously one can never be 100% sure of anything, right?
Sure.
So if I had to put my life on lying or not lying, it would be, I put my life on, he's not lying.
I'm with you on that. There's a detail I want to talk about, something that kind of struck me. So the girls that ran into this being, and they described it as crouching, seemingly injured, with dark brown skin and large eyes. But Dr. Venturelli's account from the hospital is really different. This being is composed, communicative, eyes like a drop of water. Do you think that he saw the same being, or do you think it was, there were multiple beings? What are your thoughts?
I've got a couple. So, I asked him in great detail when we were in Washington, D.C., because I'll get a witness to go, and it drives people crazy sometimes, particularly witnesses, because I will want to do a recreation of every, not just second, but millisecond, okay? And I was doing this with him for probably 4 to 6 hours, and I could see him getting a little irritable because my attention to detail was so, I was so focused. And I said, when you say this being looked out the window twice, what did this being seeing? What was out the window? Blue sky, it was a sunny day, clouds. I'm like, okay, well, the second capture took place in the early evening. That was 5:30, and that was just a couple blocks away from the girls' encounter. Okay, so when I first started thinking about it, I was like, well, gosh, this thing's got more of a white skin. He didn't talk about the smell. The body was the same, spindly arms, spindly legs, about the size of a 7-year-old. The big, large head, the big eyes. He said they were more lilac as opposed to red, but they're also teardrop. The communication occurred through the eyes, but I started noticing some differences. But then the biggest difference was I was going, well, wait a minute. It couldn't have been, if it was January 20th, it couldn't have been what the girls saw, because the girls saw theirs at 3:20. The capture was around 5:30. It would have been at the hospital around 6 p.m. that night. It was pissing rain. And so when I got Pedro Aguiar's story of the morning capture from that creature, I was thinking, wow, maybe that's the creature that was taken to regional hospital, because there were two. Maybe that's the creature that he saw, or do these beings are they like chameleons? Do they have the ability to their skin color? Do they excrete or exude a foul smell when they feel threatened and scared and vulnerable, like a skunk? Did their skin change color in the blazing hot sun? The girls all said this being was suffering. Nobody felt threatened. The girls, actually, Katya had prolonged, telepathic communication with this. She was locked eyes with this. She was the oldest of the group for a prolonged period, and she said it communicated to her, help me or leave me alone. And when I said leave me alone, it was more like, don't hurt me, leave me be, or help me. She was considering helping this being. And to this day, she goes, I feel terrible because this being was non-threatening. It was scared. It was vulnerable. It was suffering, and it wanted help. And I left it. And then the military, and God knows what they did to this poor being. And to this day, she feels guilty about it, that she didn't help it. And I thought to myself, boy, had she helped it, that would have been like the real life ET.
Yeah. Very, very true. This story is just so incredibly fascinating, this case. I wouldn't even call it a story. Please.
Yeah, one more thing quickly. I thought, because it is baffling, right? There are inconsistencies. If Italo was lying, why wouldn't he knows the girls have been saying it had brown skin and smelly? It's been all over everything. Why wouldn't he just duplicate that?
Right.
I can't find a motive. I just can't. I've been trying to poke holes in the story. And I spent so much time with Dr. Italo, getting to know his wife and his coworkers. We go down to his local watering hole. I didn't say watering hole like he's a drinker, but there's this lovely restaurant just a couple blocks away from his house that he and his family go to often. He plays piano like Mozart. He loves music. He loves to perform live in a public setting. I met all the people that he hangs out with in his community, all the interns that he's been working with and still works with. So he'd have to be lying to everybody, and he's not asking for a penny. And he knows this is not a career-enhancing move. He knows that.
Right.
He's claiming face-to-face contact with a bloody alien, right? And he's working on people's brains, and he's still the head neurosurgeon. In fact, Regional Hospital tried to let him go, but he's in so much demand, he's still operating independent contractor because there's nobody to replace him. He does stuff that nobody else can do.
I mean, that speaks volumes right there.